Cancers, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 2nd through the 8th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so this week we have a new moon in your 10th house of career and of anything on that productive level. So now new beginnings for you guys in this area. And this is a very supportive new moon, by the way, because it is going to be forming this kite, as you can see here with all these blue aspects. The Grand Trine along with that sextile pattern up to Neptune. All right, so very supportive new moon. It is going to be conjoining up to that Mercury retrograde and that Venus. So with any new moon, it's always a good time to go within. This is going to be on Friday. So as we approach Friday, a good time to have that lowering of energy, especially for you Cancerians, because you guys follow that lunar cycle. Good time to reflect and see where you can set new intentions now with your career, or with your productive life, or your public life, or your achievements and successes in life, whatever that might be for you personally. Now, a lot of that is being reflected upon because Mercury is retrograde. So this is this rethinking, maybe rehashing, redoing things around work or with career or with these goals, with these achievements in your life, maybe with your public image. So it's good to still be adaptive and to be, this is the whole point, in fact, of a new moon, is to be adaptive, to get your feet wet, to try new things, especially going into next week. And I think there's an easygoingness about the whole thing because of that sextile up to Neptune. I think we're willing to be okay. At least there's an opportunity for us to be okay with the fact that we don't know where everything's unfolding. That's been the real challenge of this year with Saturn squaring up to both Jupiter and Neptune. And that's still very much in orb. It's this uncertainty about how things are unfolding. But with this, with a sextile up to this new moon, there's an opportunity to be okay with that. And that can be actually very, very freeing. There can be a lot of peace with that as well. So that easygoingness can really come through, especially too when I think you're really letting go of the fact that there is beginnings and endings in life. There is transformations. That's the part of life. Which has been Neptune in that 8th house. Getting real intimate with self, intimate with others. There can be a lot of sensitivity, a lot of compassion that can come through at this time. And intimacy. And that's directly supporting these new beginnings with this new moon. So there's that. And then the conjunction with Venus is that you guys could be enjoying, in fact, some of the relationships in career, or some of your values in career, perhaps deriving more value from your career, whether it's material or otherwise. And I would say that's probably the case too, because your sun is up there and the sun rules your 2nd house. So this is an earth house, and that's where the Grand Trine side of it really comes into effect, because this trine up to Jupiter is showing that there has been opportunities to perhaps cultivate the material stuff, the finances, or your self-reliance. Now, a lot of that has been reflective. It's been more internalized since Jupiter's been retrograde for about the past 5 months. But now Jupiter's going to go direct, in fact, next Monday. So as we approach this weekend, there is this shift, this new understanding about these possibilities for you to become more self-reliant, to become more aware of your sense of self-worth. So it's an excellent week for learning more about that, but I think it's directly supporting it. In fact, the values, the material stuff could be directly supporting, and even your self-worth, your self-efficacy, your ability, your belief in what you can do. You might call it your self-esteem in that sense, directly supporting the career stuff this week. And that'll be particularly on Monday and Tuesday, leading towards that new moon on Friday, when the sun trines up to Jupiter. And then again, the sun rules your 2nd, so it could be, for some of you, opportunities to increase your material security, your assets. Or maybe just generally all of you should be feeling a bit of that self-reliance and optimism about what you can do, what you can accomplish, how you can attract these values in your life, which again then directly supports your productive life. So very nice aspect with that. And like I was saying, that new moon's going to be on Friday. And then as we go into the weekend, that's when the trine up to Pluto really goes into effect with the sun. There could be deep change with a lot of that material stuff and with the career. And this is because there's been a lot of changes with your guys' daily activities or with your work or in the workspace or in the daily activity space. This releasing of old patterns over many years, releasing these old patterns, these fears or attachments or anxieties about the work or about improvement or about perfection and the daily activities. And that this week is very supportive. I think we're all going to be willing to dive deep within self to make change. And I think for you to make change again with the material, financial, or your sense of self-worth, the career, the productive, as well as the continuous change with your routines or your regimens or your self-improvement. All right, great week for that, especially over the weekend. And the more willing we are to dive deep, the more we can uncover to release those old fears, anxieties, and old patterns. But again, it's all new, right? So it's a new beginning. It's a good time this week, I think, to just go within, to reflect. But then as we go into next week, try new things. In fact, it is an excellent time to just try new things. Just make sure that there is, an exit strategy or a plan B, a plan C, have multiple avenues of things going on. Because during this Mercury retrograde over the next few weeks here, you guys are going to be shifting and changing, or new information is going to come to light regarding the career, which is going to require you to maybe shift into a new direction or something on a minor note, at least. And that's the Mercury retrograde. It's also good too with Mercury retrograde to bring that extra attention to your correspondence when relating to the career stuff or work stuff, the communications. Maybe it's a good time to reflect on too, where you can get a bit of that rest and relaxation or more detached perspective with the career, which is that Mercury ruling your 12th house. So that's the new moon, new beginnings, new understandings. And then as we go into next week, Mercury does trine up to the North Node, so there could be insights over the weekend, specifically, again, relating to the material values, relating to your self-worth, and even about your career. But that's going to be ongoing. It's going to be a lot of information unfolding about the career stuff for you for the next few weeks. But the big emphasis is a new beginning with the career, with the productive stuff, to sit with it, set those intentions, and try new things as we go into next week. All right, so Cancer, have a fantastic one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.